when are you doing the bar course and becoming a member? Mr. President, these are not our questions. We are picking questions from the general public and some from members. I would request that you receive them with grace, like you've always done, and feel free to answer them. We shall also, through you, allow you to maybe pass the questions that you think can be answered by your panel, so as to engage the public. And ladies and gentlemen, you're also allowed to ask the panel available. They're all distinguished, interestingly, lawyers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for the panel today. It's a full lawyer panel. Thank you. That's the Radical New Bar. Thank you. The other question is from one Goretti Nambi. Goretti says, thank you, our president, for your courage and bravery. My question is about overstaying in power. Sometimes members of the opposition fault the incumbent president for overstay in power. However, there have also been MPs of their regions for too long and are not giving young people the chance to serve. What is your opinion on that? And given that you've been the NUP president for 2 terms, will you be willing to step down in future?
When are you joining the bar? When am I going for the bar course? Friends, I'm a problem person. It would be embarrassing, but because of my circumstances, it's actually interesting to mention that while others study the law degree for 4 years, I studied it for 7 years. Because for 7 years and in 2 universities, because of the political situation that you see in Uganda, in and out of the classroom, in and out of prison. And the situation has not changed. I'm thankful that I was able to accomplish this, and it's my desire to become a real lawyer, because I know that a lawyer that has not done a bar course is like a horse with a broken back. So I am aware that there's something missing. However, there's more important work that we're doing. Guys, we are removing a dictator. And when that is done, when time allows, I definitely go back, and I'll be very proud to join the bar then. About overstaying power. For clarity, I don't believe in overstaying power. General Museveni said it, and I agree with him, that the problem with Uganda, in particular, and Africa in general, are the leaders that overstay in power. It's not written anywhere that, a leader should stay and stay and stay and stay. If a leader does not inspire other leaders to come and take over from that leader, then that leader has failed. So I don't believe in overstaying power. I know that majority, if not all leaders, say exactly what I'm saying before they get into power. General Museveni was saying exactly what I'm saying, only more eloquent, when he was my age. But he's the same person that does not want to be reminded of what he said when he was my age. I know that. So, knowing that, I also know that good leaders are not born out of their own hearts, are born out of the situation. So, it's a reason why we started the People Power Movement, because our power is with the people. And also, it's our desire to inspire as many new and young leaders as possible, so that they are available to replace us. But also, we believe mainly in institutions that outlive human greed and human weaknesses. I don't want to be the all-knowing guy, the big boss, the big daddy, the strong man. That syndrome we must demystify, we must destroy, and we must flush in the dustbins of history. So I believe that leaders should come and leaders should go and give way to other leaders. You mentioned about MPs that have overstayed in position. Run against them. When I saw that Museveni had overstayed in power, I did not just sit on the periphery to complain. I showed up, cut off my dreads, put on a tie, and I took on the guy and defeated him. And now we want to defeat him again. So don't just speak from the periphery. Step up and present yourself. Not just for the sake of challenging the guy that overstayed in power, but present new ideas, present new options, convince people. Majority of us are young people. So why don't you show up and present your options, and people will believe in you, and we shall move on. And finally, Shafiq said many people are losing hope. And what's the message? Bro, freedom comes to those who fight, not those who cry or give up. The more you cry, the more your people continue to die, and after the death of your people, you're the next to die. So rise to the occasion and do what you must do. You know, giving up is not an option in this situation. And it even depresses me to listen to a young person giving up. You're giving up on a guy who is 84, and you're giving up. The people that for us have already gone past their future is behind them. You're in your 20s, your 30s, and you're giving up. Come on, man. There's a lot of time for us to be there. And that time will either be a time of suffering or a time of enjoyment. It depends on what we do now. There's no time of giving up. There's no time for giving up. Get up, let's fold our sleeves and do what we must do to prepare a country that we shall grow old in, and a country where we shall raise our children. That's my answer to you. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. Were has gotten his answer. Bro, we have to fight together. Yeah, respect. We have a question from a gentleman here.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm called Seka. Mr. President, I work with Honorable newspaper. I'm going to ask mine in Luganda because you write for Luganda readers. Sebo President, ngakaluka bili abili muka akagwa. President Chileyo bagamba nti wagamba nti no mwaka tegujja kuwera nga nakyemalira tonnamujja mu buyinza. Ne ukifujidde olwaleero nga nakyemalira akyali entebe mu ntebe. Entebe yo akyagirimu. President gamba bannayuganda n'abavubuka abakkiririzaamu ennyo bukodyo ki bw'ogenda okukozesa okulaba nga nakyemalira ava mu ntebe yo oba ogenda kumulinda afe bufi Katonda amugye mu ntebe.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Seka. Mr. President, we would like to request that we have a round of questions because we have been informed that your schedule is already tight. We shall allow a few more questions, not so many. Then we can run the schedule faster than now. The President has been with us for a while now. Let's run our questions so fast.
Thank you. My name is Jerry Kwandera. I am a journalist of Daily Monitor. I think this is the best forum for me to raise this question. Mr. President of NUP and your panel, we have heard from you several times saying you've taken different channels of addressing injustice in Uganda, including going to the East African Court of Justice, and at some point the ICC about the injustices here. Well, your party still lingers around looking for about 18 people whose whereabouts have never been seen today. Maybe 5 years ago until today. What are the other channels you're doing to bring hope to the families of these 18 people?
Thank you so much.
Because you've always used the justice system. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. We request that you just take those questions. There's one behind, please. Around 2 over there.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My name is Moe Ibrahim. And like you, I have got my law degree in my 40s. You said here that during times of injustice, neutrality is complicity. But it is also true that in history, we have never had a community of only brave men. You have called upon lawyers to take the challenge and lead the struggle for change. What message do you have for those who have vestiges of cowardice
Thank you.
in their hearts?
Thank you. Thank you. Next question. We're running out of time. Mr. President, I hope that is sufficient. You taking notes? Thank you. I'm sorry?
Mr. President, Magom Ivan, aka People's Advocate is my name. Mr. President, with due respect to all questions asked to you because you're the head of state, but I want to be inclined to the theme of today about lawyers. Mr. President, just like you said, it took you 7 years to complete your law degree, but I want to tell you that it may take you 14 years to get your practicing certificate. I want to use this platform to bang the table to inform you to charge the people who can influence, because I know we have a shadow government, but you're also the president of this country. Mr. President, I want to report to you that it can take 7 years or even more after one completing the law degree or even the bar course, but they don't get their practicing certificates. This in one way or the other affects the justice system. Some of us would want maybe to participate actively are stopped.
Thank you so much.
So from this perspective,
Yes.
you can reach out to the law because it's in parliament or any other alternative and rally lawyers to challenge the law council to expedite the process of getting practicing certificates so that we can participate
Thank you.
in the change of this country.
Thank you so much. Two more questions behind over there. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I think you know me. I'm the citizen. My OB, how are you, Mr. Chagulani? Musomesa, how are you? Yes. For me, as I always tell you every week, the Human Rights Commission is where human rights go to die. The Ugandan judiciary is where justice goes to die. The Election Commission is where elections go to die. I think we saw what happened last week on Thursday. They delisted Ugandan Law Society. So therefore, Mr. President, and I put it to you, and my question to you is, can't we create a new system which does not involve, at least for the elections, the Ugandan judiciary, create some sort of tribunals which can handle election petitions expeditiously, so that at least the lawyers show that they're doing something. Because running to Doro's incompetent judiciary, we have a corrupt judge at Court of Appeal, there's, I'm told, a rapist judge at Court of Appeal, we have, really, you can say our judiciary is just from, and it's the very judiciary condemning its own for being corrupt, for being, all sorts of things. So therefore, can't you have that platform, a separate, maybe for tribunals which handle election petitions, and then, help us handle that, such that we don't have to keep on appealing. Council Nalukola's win has been challenged. It was decided, Court of Appeal, we don't know when you're here. So thank you, Mr. President. Can't we have that forum? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Will you check that for now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. The questions are interesting. Now, Chiseka asked me in Uganda, he said, Simani gwe umaru Chiseka. I know that we are supposed to use a national language, but again, I understand the language in which he asked.
It's called the official language.
Thank you. Thank you. It had to be Marema. Thank you for the correction. For the first time you got me almost off guard.
Alright, so rubber dam style.
Rubber dam style. Yeah, so nsaba muzikirize Kiseka Mwanukule mu Luganda. Kiseka wabuuziza nti nabagamba nti n'omwaka tegujja kuwera nga Museveni muggyeko era n'ombuuza nti bukubyo ki bwe ngenda okozesa. Kati olaba manyi mba njagala nnyo ne munfuna bulungi naddala mwe bannamawulire era obuzibu obusinga okubeerawo mu nsi kwe kwogera ekigambo n'ekigenda okuva mu kamwako okutuuka eri abantu b'ekigamba nga kikyusibwa emirundi 10. Nabagamba era nkiddamu nti Museveni bwe tuba tukoze kye tulina okukola n'omwezi tagumala kusagamba mwaka bwe tuba tukoze si bwe mba nkoze bwe tuba tukoze kye tulina okukola nga bannansi mwabo bannansi naawe kwoli singa obadde oyogedde Lujamani nandirowoozeza nti oba oli Mukongo naye engeri oli kukikakasa nti olina oli Munnayuganda nga naawe kwoli era nenjagala obasaba obuuza nti bukodyo ki bwe ngenda okozesa. Njagala nnyo okubasaba mwena abampuliriza abali wano n'abatulaba eyo tiena ensonga si ya Kyagulanyi yekka. Obuzibu bwe businga okuva mu nsonga za Uganda kwe kuzirekera omuntu omu. Dr. Semogere tubikulekedde tulwanirire, Dr. Besigye tubikulekedde tulwanirire paka bamukooya amaanyi gagwako Kyagulanyi najja Kyagulanyi twafuna gwe twamala temwafuna nze bwe muba mwafuna nze nange nabafuna mwe lwaki mwagala munfune nze ne mbafuna. So njagala bwe munfuna nange mbafune tukole kye tulina okukola kubanga mwe mujja n'okusinga okunyumirwa Uganda nga tumaze okutuuka mu nsi ensuubizi. Fe abamu bajja kuba batumenyemenya amagulu, abalala tetukyalya mmere kutuwoomera, abalala tetukyeyagala bulungi mu budde bw'ekiro olwa bye batuyisizaamu. So kye tulina okukola tulina kikola ffenna ng'eggwanga. Eno si ensonga ya Kyagulanyi, eno nsonga yaffe ffenna. Era bwe tukola kye twetaaga okukola ne kiba nga tekinnatuukirira, ekyo temukikozesa kuyeeya Kyagulanyi oba kugirega Kyagulanyi, wabula mwefumiitirize mulabe oke kye tukozeeko kye kino wawe tukomye ki kye tusobola okwongerako okutuuka gye tulina okutuuka. Engeri yokka gye tugenda okwetaasa ng'eggwanga. I thank you very much. Wandera asked me about different channels of addressing injustice. We have used different channels. We continue to pursue all avenues to fight for justice, to demand for our missing people, who the government, through the Prime Minister and very many other government officials, have come out and admitted having them, but they're not giving them to us. So we are pursuing every available legal and constitutional means. But again, we've not blocked the way, or we are not standing in the way of other Ugandans that are equally pained, that are pursuing other ways. In 1980, while the Bidandi Saris and the Semogeredes were pursuing political and legal means, Museveni and his friends pursued forceful and violent means. So just like the Bidandi Saris of the 80s, we are not standing in the way of those that are trying to free themselves by any means necessary. Neutrality is complicity, but there's no community for only brave men, my brother said. And he's asking me, what advice do I have for the cowards? My brother, you the cowards, you better die. Anyway, on a serious note, and I will quote one of my friends. You see, I have so many friends in the music fraternity. And there's this friend of mine who annoys me so much, but he's one of my favorite friends. His name is Chaga. I was chatting with Chaga one time, and I got angry. I said, you guys are our friends. You Chaga, you are a known artist, you're a popular artist. Why the hell are you silent? Why don't you speak out? Because you are an artist, you are known. And Chaga says, Bobby, Olava, n'ebiseera bya Malcolm X ne Martin Luther King waliwo bakyali baabwe nga bakawadi in Uganda. Chaga say, you see, Bobby, even in the days of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, they had friends who were cowards. They did not kill them. So please don't kill me. I understand that our courage is not at the same levels. And I'm not in any way claiming to be courageous. I always say desperate. I just don't have any other option. And I'm sure you too can be as courageous if you run out of options. But now that you still have full options and choose to identify as a coward, there's also something that you can do. Coward, this is what you can do. Number one, don't be used. If you can't be on the front line fighting for better or defending others, at least don't be used. There's this saying that we were told by Malcolm X that no one can make you a slave without your permission. We permit our oppressors with our actions or omissions. We facilitate our oppressors. So if you fear to do something, then don't do anything in support of the oppressor. But again, you can do something in a safe way. We are living in the days of social media. You can tweet and post and make sure you push a message forward. You can be underground. There are many people that you know and many that you don't know that are actually very helpful in our struggle. Some of them are even working in public offices. Some of them are officers in the regime. I won't give you their names. But because they fear to lose their jobs, they fear to lose their status, they fear to lose their life, they only help us or help the struggle silently. So in this day and age of options, clearly everybody can do something to further the struggle, even a coward. I thank you. Now, the People's Advocate asked me a question. He talked about a compromised system and a dysfunctional legal system. I'm very glad Senior Counsel Benjamin Katana had me, and I request that you permit me, ask him to help me respond to that with his seniority. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think it is important for us to appreciate that there cannot be a safe room in a burning house. The industry, just like the rest of the country, is undergoing challenges on account of the dysfunctionality of the NRM regime. So the only way out is not to approach it piecemeal, for faster processing of practicing certificates, that you are pushing for faster processing of ABC. It's important that we collectively work towards an overhaul of the entire system, and that will begin by removal of a dysfunctional regime and establish a government that is not extractive in nature, a government that is service-centered and people-centered, not a government that today you will process that, but the next day you will go to Mlago Hospital and again you will be shocked by the dysfunctionality. The next day you take your child and you'll be shocked by the dysfunctionality. So, what we are experiencing now, technology is trying to sabotage my point, but nevertheless I will make it. Okay, thank you. The regime is experiencing a multiple organ failure. And our responsibility as citizens of Uganda is to make sure that we put it to rest.
and bring into office a government that is people-centered. And I had a question about people being the cowardice, the brave. I think it is very important for the people of Uganda and for you lawyers to appreciate that what we are involved in is not electoral competition with Museveni and the NRM regime. What we are involved in is a war to reclaim the soul of our nation. And so, you will not leave the work to be done only. You will say, I don't support NUP, or I do not support the leader of NUP. But this fight is for you, as a citizen of Uganda, to make sure that a lawyer, as advocate of the people, or people's advocate, you are able to process your documentation without unnecessary delays. That when you go to hospital, you are able to be treated without unnecessary delays. So the people of Uganda must understand that what we are involved in is not an electoral competition, but a war to reclaim the soul of Uganda. And we must all embrace it, regardless of whether we like NUP, whether we like its leader or not. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Councillor Katina. The last question was more or less similar to the previous one, and it has been largely answered. However, there's a question that came through the message to those that have given up on elections. I gave it an answer, but that's a very important question that I would want to have different perspectives about. So allow me, Councillor Bongoya, to invite you to respond to that question.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very delighted to be here today. And the very interesting questions that have come on the floor. Well, our message is that the people of Uganda need to know that if you do not participate in elections and in governance, then you lose the right to complain when things go wrong. And that's what we've seen. We've seen, even with the massive rigging and election fraud that we see in all these elections, we see that the voter turnout is very, very low. Honorable Nalkola here, I don't remember what the exact percentage was, but it was below 20%. The people who turned out, below 20% of the people. So 14.4%. So you can imagine if, that is to exclude the ballot boxes which were kicked by regime thugs and all that. But even if we were to add all those, I don't think we would hit the 20% mark. So if 14% of the people come out to vote their leaders, how do you then wake up every day ranting on X that things have gone wrong? Look at what is happening now. These NRM people are having their primaries. People who have stolen iron sheets have come back with proceeds from that. They are now distributing money and all that. Money that they have stolen from these poor people, they are giving it out to different people, and these different people are ready, in some cases, to go and vote them again. So I think there has to be an awakening of the consciousness of the people. And for us as NDP, we talk about the protest vote. To say that the protest vote begins with a massive voter turnout. Our president has already said something. He says it in Luganda, but I also say it in English. If you do not come up to vote, and then the regime is able to mobilize, to pay people, to bribe people, and they come up to vote, and then tomorrow why would you complain when things continue going south? We've been telling people that if you do not come up at your village to vote for an LC1 chairperson, and a village thief is elected, then don't start complaining tomorrow when your chicken begins to disappear. Because on the day when you were supposed to go out and vote, you chose to stay home. So that is our call, that this time around, the election is coming up. I think the president was, maybe deliberately did not mobilize you or charge you lawyers to come out and vote for him. He's unopposed in our party, for the presidential flag bearer. And I want to use this opportunity to call upon all lawyers, come and vote for him and support the National Unity Platform. Because the National Unity Platform is the only party that will guarantee social justice and fairness in the management of the affairs of this country. But the most important point is that on that day, prepare for voting day the way you prepare for important days in your life. We see people prepare for weddings as if it's a do or die. Lawyers prepare for court. You write in your diary, you say on this particular date, I have a very important case. I have a mediation. I have an arbitration matter to handle. So why don't you prepare for an election day the way you prepare for these big days? We've been telling the young people of Uganda, they normally prepare. When they hear that an artist, an international artist is coming to Uganda, they prepare for months. But when it comes to an election, someone goes and they see a long queue, they say, I will not go there. So, the only thing we did, for example, to get the victory for Honorable Nalgora is because we protested. People protested. People stayed at polling stations and said we are not going to leave these polling stations until our results are announced. And the people followed those results to ensure that they are announced. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Lewis, and please bear with us. I want to thank you for asking for the vote for me. And I reiterate that request. Guys, please vote for me. I'm your own. The other old guy is not a lawyer. I am. You bear with me. It would be very necessary for us to live here. I mean, it would not be characteristic of what we stand for if we live here only having heard male voices. So allow me to invite my Deputy President in charge of Northern Uganda and also a Senior Counsel, Mamali Nazedriga, to just give us a word from a woman to the women and to us the men. Thank you.
Yes, that is my president, that is our president, the intergenerational, the iconic, the enigma. Yes, thank you so much, Your Excellency, you have my vote, and my address is specifically to the women. We are bearing the brand of this militarized, monetized space called Uganda. Our bodies have become the interview panels. Interview through sex. Yes, we have the evidence. I'm a member of FIDA, Uganda. Your dignity is being violated, even your own children and grandchildren. We should be so annoyed to reclaim our dignity, our identity as the women, especially the women lawyers. Run for all positions possible under the NU. Defend, proclaim, recruit, and if they steal our votes, demand. As women, we can do it. By example, I am here. In my late life, going to be 64 this year. But here I am, because I would like us to live a legacy like the Wangari Maathai. Why are we living incognito? What is your legacy as the women lawyers? And especially those from northern region, where we are. Our people right now are being threatened all over. I got messages and shared. They want to portray northern region as NRM infected and infested. It's not true. It's not. Exactly. So, as Dr. Eliud Kipchoge said, rightfully, the iconic Olympian, he says no human is limited. People look to us as the lawyers. We need to ensure that we address the root cause of why Uganda we have degenerated to this level of disrespect for human dignity, disrespect for rule of law, disrespect for dialogue, disrespect for humanity, and therefore uproot it and be at the table as we set and reset to reclaim human dignity, to reclaim our motherland, we can do it. It's not only for our president, but each one of us multiply yourself and be courageous. Even those who believe they are cowards, you are not cowards. You just want to deny your human dignity. Reclaim it. Thank you.